Ty, bring him in.
Welcome once again to the All Circles Media Podcast.
Yes,
Thank you all again for joining us. I am Ty, your host with the most. And next to me, as always, is the incomparable Adam Robb, DJ Arthritis.
Applause myself.
Hell yeah. And across from us, I actually have a fellow coworker of mine. Please give it up for Glenn Menteer.
What's up, y'all? Oh, got the horns in the applause. Hell yeah, dude. I'll take it.
Like thunder.
Yeah, fuck.
So many times. Glenn, thank you very much for being here.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Thank you very much. So I just want to go into a little bit just about like maybe your backstory a little bit. Like tell us why, for example, why you got into comedy, how long you've been doing it, and where you from.
Yeah, so when I was in high school, I like did all the talent shows and shit. My big influencer was Bo Burnham. I want to be just like Bo Burnham.
You
so
actually wearing the shirt?
Yeah, I'm wearing the shirt right now. Yeah.
Look at that.
So I wrote funny songs and I'll do them at the talent show. And then I wanted to try just regular stand-up comedy. And like when I was in high school, I did my acts with my one friend. We did like duo acts. Mm-hmm. And when we were 18, we went to do an open mic. And it went so badly.
Oh, no.
It went so fucking bad that we didn't do it again for 10 years.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But my buddy actually started doing stand-up a little over a year ago. Mm-hmm. And then my one buddy I used to do my shows with in high school also started doing it. I'm like, well, if you guys are doing it, I'm going to fucking do it too. So that's pretty much how I started. I've always wanted to do it, but I got disheartened after bombing in front of 15 people.
Yeah, that'll happen. That'll happen.
It'll scar you for life.
It did.
I'm kind of glad, like my first, because you introduced me for my first time like a few weeks ago, because I came up with Ty, and I was like, he was like, I told him, I was like, I always wanted to try stand up, and I was like, I got a whole notes like folder where it's just random ideas that I was like, this could be funny maybe someday.
He was just like already prepared essentially.
Yeah.
Like, so you already got the stuff. So
more prepped. Yeah.
And so he told me the ones that he thinks had potential, and then I think it was just talking through it. Like we came up with like
we did it like a process of elimination type shit, because he had already had, like, when I tell you he had lists written of things that he wanted to say already, I'm just like, he made half my job easy already. right. I'm just like, so you're pretty much prepared, but listen, like I'm not a bipartisan opinion you can ask, bro. Yeah. like I'm one of your dudes. The only way to know if any of this shit works is to get on stage.
Yeah, and just try it. And I think a lot of, like, it is nerve-wracking up there. Like I did it the second time. That was a tough crowd the other night. Like, was it not this last week, but the week before?
At the Funny Stop?
Yeah, that was. It was a tough crowd.
Yeah, a little tougher than usual.
Yeah, and
it did be hit or miss sometimes.
Yeah, I got up there and I was like, oh man, this is like when there's nobody really laughing. This is what it really feels like. And so I'm glad I got that that feeling.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good, but it happens even to comics who are really good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I'll bomb at least like a couple times a month.
Yep.
And then I'll feel like shit, but then you get a good set in and you feel good again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Like it never discourages me from doing it. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It never discourages me from doing it because of that dopamine rush I get when I do well. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like even if I expect to do bad, whenever I outdo like even myself, because like even a couple applauses in a room full of people who might not have said anything for like an hour or so is enough for me to keep like, all right, maybe I should keep it going. Yeah. And that right there is enough. Just kind of like just chasing that is enough to get me back on there. But there have been plenty of times where it was just like the bombing was so epic. I'm just like, like why am I doing this again?
Yeah. I think a lot of it helped was because I DJ weddings. And so like I'm in front of people a lot, and like at weddings, like sometimes I'll crack a joke if I feel it's appropriate. Right. And so I kind of like had a little bit of that stage fright like over with. Cause like there's sometimes like during a wedding where like the bride and groom will switch something up like right before you do it. And you're like, oh geez, I got to figure this out and play it off, or like something like this happens at like 1 out of every like 5 weddings is like we're about to do like the father-daughter dance, and the dad just is like, I'm going to the bathroom now, and you're like, and we're doing the father-daughter dance, and they're like, no, he went to the bathroom. And you're like, we're not doing that, we're gonna do something else.
Someone else, a dad here can take over.
Yeah, just open dad-daughter dances. Let's go.
I was like, can everyone else's dad and daughter get involved?
Can't have dead air, you know. I gotta keep it rolling.
How do you handle that as you're also a host that most people would know this, would like if you go down to the Funny Stop, you get to see this guy host probably a lot of the time and which is actually pretty good. I think you're great at it. But how do you deal with dead air whenever it comes to just like, hey, we got to do something, but now something's changed like at the last minute, so I have to freaking like, how do you freeball that and like get through the process of just trying to like get that part over with.
Yeah, well, it's tough when you have dead air. Like if you're telling a joke and the joke doesn't land, you just get silence. I've gotten pretty decent at like getting a laugh from people not laughing. Yeah. No, I'd be like, well, fuck you guys. That's a good joke. That's fucking gold.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, so something like that. Or like, I'd be like, oh, I thought you guys were cool. What the fuck? I thought we were cool here. We're all friends. But yeah, no, it's tough. You got to learn how to improvise really well, especially when you get like last minute changes. Like, because when you're hosting, a lot of times people will pop in. They'll be like, oh, they want this guy. They go in front of this guy, and they got to go tell him that he's not next. And sometimes people get pissed about that.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Like when you get bumped, some comics get really mad.
Oh, it happens at
hip hop world.
It happens every show that we throw. Every show that we throw, there's always at least 1 to 2 people, whether it's a whole band or one individual, who's just like, hey, you should put me on next after. And I'm like, see, but we already made the list.
Yeah, right.
And I've already sent it out.
Yep.
And I've already talked to everyone who agreed with said list, and you wouldn't tell me that you want special treatment. No, like, you know what I'm saying. And then it's just like I don't even know you, bro. Like this is my job, and you're making it like just that much harder, because it can be done within reason, but it's just like it doesn't feel a little bit pretentious. You know what I'm saying?
It does. Like you're expecting to go ahead of people who already like
it's like
were
after you already agreed, bro. Like you're already on the list, but why do you want to go earlier? And or it's like I can understand like, hey, like I got to go to the hospital or I got to go do something else. So it's like, okay, if it's something that's an emergency, that's fine. But a lot of the time it's just like people will do this thing where like a certain amount of people will bring a lot of a crowd. Yeah. Right. And just before they go on, their people have gathered. So it's just like, well, hey, they think that that's the time that they should get on stage instead of the person who they're actually there to see, because that way they can get seen in front of a lot of people, which is a tactic you can use. Yeah. But it's just like, hey, man, like even if they're good people, they're going to sit for the whole show. Yeah. Stop trying to steal time. Like that's my whole thing.
And it messes up the whole list. Like I go by like what number I am when I'm like in a show. I'm like, okay, I'm 7th. And so if you bump somebody, and then now all of a sudden I'm 8th, like it fucks me up, because I don't like I try to go on stage at the wrong time. It's embarrassing. Like
Are you like mentally prepared to go up at? You're like, all right, I got like 2 more people.
Yeah,
like,
that's a big thing.
It's my time.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh shoot, like what do I? Yeah, that's
the entertainment world for you, though. I mean, like even if they're not trying to be a prima donna about it, that's just kind of it's just one of those things that's kind of hard to talk about, because it's like, okay, I don't want to be a dick about this, but there's an order to these things. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Which I didn't know until I started doing the more behind the scenes stuff when it comes to running a show. Like that to me is just as fulfilling as doing the comedy part. But I wanted to ask you, like, what are some things outside of comedy that you like to do? Like, would you consider like maybe like improv or like maybe just show running as part of like the wide plethora of stuff that you get to do as a comedian that you enjoy? What are some of those stuff?
Well, I do actually run my own show. I have a co-host, me and David Ruggiero, shout out. We run a show at the Big Dog.
Oh, where's that located?
That's in Ravenna, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How often do you do that show? What days can they see you?
It's usually on Saturday, every other week is what we've been doing the last couple months. But yeah, that's been going well. It's been a cool experience, because it used to be just David running it, but then he went to go on like a midlife crisis road trip or something. So he was gone for like 3 months, and I took over. And so it was my first time running a show like by myself. So it was really cool.
How did that go for you? How were the nerves like?
The nerves weren't too bad. The hardest part is just like finding comics, confirming stuff with the owner, like what day, what time you can do it. Like the show itself, I never felt too nervous about. I did feel bad on the couple times where there was comics performing to like 3 people in the audience, and then I feel so bad for having them come out from like Cleveland to do 10 minutes in front of 3 people.
Which also happens, but I think that's also kind of one of the reasons we do this shit anyway, because it's just like the chance to experience some pretty cool stuff. Like I've played for next to no one in pretty big crowds also, but I feel like that's what still makes it worth it to me. But like the people who did see me and enjoy it, you know what I'm saying?
And the cool thing is like sometimes those are opportunities where you can like try stuff, because you're like, listen, the stakes are low.
Yeah. Like so if I mess up in front of y'all never see me again. So I'm cool.
There's 3 people.
This could go bad. I'm cool with that
situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I like those shows where it's a very like small crowd and you just do whatever the fuck you want, because it doesn't matter.
I think those are the best times to work on your crowd work for real. Because like people think that people like Matt Rife making shit look easy, but like no, crowd work can be pretty rough if you don't know how to do it right.
It's a skill you got to learn.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of crowd work.
Every once in a while, I don't know too much crowd work. I want to start getting into it. Like that's a skill I want to work on. But like I'm more of just like I write a joke, have it ready, and then like I know the order. But like I've riffed off of stuff or what off of like people in the crowd have said. So
so that's it. Those type of shows are the easy places to work on that type of shit. That's why I think, because it's just like I do value the ability to get like that one-on-one, because it's still a stage is a stage, but it's just like it's different than sitting around with your buddies and like cracking jokes back and forth, because they think the shit's funny. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when it comes to crowd work, it's just like, how can I do this in a way that's super funny, but also not so offensive that like this isn't gonna go bad.
Yeah, it's a tough line to walk. Yeah.
Very fine line to walk. Yeah. But I think which I think is why Matt Rife makes it look so damn easy. Like he's hot, so like no one's gonna get mad. He can say whatever the fuck he wants, and they're not gonna get mad.
Yeah, because he gets heckled by hot women, and then he just, he negs them or whatever. What's it called when you do like you like tease a girl? Is it negging?
Yeah.
He does that, and then he gets like laughs from it. But he's also
well, he knows his demographic. That's one thing I can say
too.
that he is a genius because he knows his demographic. It's middle-aged women to freaking to teenage chicks.
Oh yeah, and he's pretty hot. He's a pretty hot guy. I'd say.
And a lot of what a lot of people don't know is that like he did 10 years of this before he even got to this point. Like he was on Wild.
He was doing it through through COVID. He was trying his just keep it going.
That's an interesting one. Let me ask you this: how did you handle comedy through COVID?
I actually started right after COVID. Yeah, I'm only about over a year in, I picked the perfect time to start. If I would have started right before COVID, I would have been pissed.
That was my mistake. I started 2019. Bro.
Oh, did you?
It was awful. It was
gotcha.
awful.
Yeah. What'd you do during COVID?
A lot of it was internet based, and then like that's whenever I started getting into just like whenever we were allowed to leave our houses again. I was actually just looking for places where I would have the opportunity to do it. Like that's when I got into the hosting aspect of things, doing the MC part, because All Circles Media was starting to throw shows and stuff like that, and they were just like, well, hey, we need someone to come be funny in between stuff. I'm like, all right, bet. And then like that just evolves into where we are now. So that was a very good time for me to get into that because we were just starting to be allowed to gather again. So even if a show was being thrown, whether it was at Buzzbin or like, just another small bar or something, chances are you're going to show up with like maybe like 5 to 10 people, all masked up, and probably not even going to want to be there to start with.
Right.
So it was a good time to, get my feet wet and actually just get out there and to do the shit for real.
Right.
So it was like, all right, this is good. So when everything opens back up for real, then I'm going to be prepared for like, the crowds whenever they actually come, like the bigger shit and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you were basically doing it on hard mode.
Yeah.
For like a year, dude.
It sucked so bad because I didn't decide that I was funny enough to do this shit until I was like already 24, 25 years old. So I was just like, all right, cool. Let's try this out. And then all of a sudden everything gets shut down. Can't perform in front of nobody. It's like, well, that sucks. Too lazy to do internet stuff. So it's just and then, so it was basically just a blessing in disguise that I was just in the right place at the right time to meet, one of my favorite white rappers. And here we are. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Wait, who's your favorite white rapper?
Puff, obviously.
Oh, Puff. Nice. Okay.
When I went to that one festival you guys were doing, I misread the fly. I thought his name was Mr. Puff.
No, Master Puff.
I'm like, people have called him that before.
Puffington, Puffington.
No, that's actually my father.
That's his father, Mr. Puff. Or Stepdaddy Puff.
Stepdaddy Puff, actually.
That's what we call
I like that.
Mama Puff.
Yeah, we got
shout out
Puff.
to the Puff parents. They're really great.
They're like our number one fans, really.
Oh, for real. Really? We actually they helped us out our entire first tour. Like the first tour I ever went on, they helped us out with all that.
Oh, that's really nice.
It was kind of a disaster at the beginning because like we had a guy that was like gonna help run it, and then he kind of ghosted for like, and we were like, well, should we still do this thing or should we just not do it? And we're like, whatever, let's just do it. And so we pulled it out of our asses. Like,
nice.
We made it happen. It was
went all over Ohio.
It was a struggle,
got to
man.
do some really cool shit. Like,
went to Pittsburgh.
That shit was awesome.
We performed at that crazy bar.
Oh yeah. Then what was really fun is that like it was a good chance to get a look at like what road life could be like. And just especially whenever like we get to the point where we can afford a Sprinter van. So it's just like it was nice to get a taste of that because it was very dope, like with the camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? Like, like having a group of people who were as like-minded as we were to even keep this shit going for literally next to no money.
That's very nice.
We all pretty much lost money.
Like we all exactly, like you know what I'm saying. But we still did it for the. But it was still worth it. Yeah. Still worth it.
Oh yeah.
Gas alone. That was probably where.
I was like, goddamn. But again,
we made it work.
Shout out Stepdaddy Puff. Shout out Mama Puff for like they were
they
really
cooked food for us. It was great.
Did they go with you like on the tour?
Oh yeah,
they went with us. Yeah, they were there at every show.
They helped book hotel rooms. Like they were in charge of like itinerary. They were cooking food. Like it was, we had soup.
Like they believed in the dream. Like,
they believed in us.
Sounds like it.
Straight up, it was awesome.
When no one else did.
And now look at us. We got an office, bro.
But we still had an office.
Cool paintings.
Yeah, better with that.
This is a bet. We had another office over on Fulton, and that we were sharing it with a CPA. And
what's a CPA?
Like a accountant.
Oh, wow,
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And so he was not. Like he was not fun
in the basement.
We were not compatible.
No, not a fun dude, the accountant.
Because not to mention, we were kind of doing dumb shit. Like, there was one time we were just chilling in the front of the studio, and one of our artists, like Shanklin, decided, hey, I'm going to run and jump over the mailbox.
Oh, that's cool.
And destroyed it.
Oh, no.
He destroyed the mailbox.
I tried to jump over and clip that.
I saw a video on Facebook, and I was like, what are you guys doing?
So we probably should have just left there anyway. Like,
This worked out a lot better.
Yeah, it was great. Shout out Carson also, by the way. Like I was saying, love Head Trauma Entertainment. Shout out them guys. Yep. Shout out Thrifty Nifty. Also the shop Bonitos. If you guys want to come do some thrift shopping, it is the fall season. She has some amazing fall wear.
Yeah, she's got it like Christmasfied. Yeah, what am I trying to say? Hold on. It's in Christmas mode.
Yeah, Christmas mode.
Christmas-defied.
Yeah, we got a tree.
Yeah.
We got
nice.
Tinsel. I don't know.
Lights, maybe.
Right, like skipped right over Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Fuck Thanksgiving. Dude, that's a boring one.
Yeah, that's like the best one. That's like the fattest one, bro.
Oh, really?
That is one, dude.
I just don't like turkey. I'm not a fan of turkey. That's why I always have to eat.
So let me ask you,
I don't like turkey or ham. That's my two least favorite meats.
Do you eat? What does Glenn Menteer eat for Thanksgiving? What is going on?
Chicken.
What's the Menteer family doing for Thanksgiving?
Well, my grandma has recently started making me salmon for Thanksgiving.
Really? That's interesting.
That actually sounds kind of
and
slap
it's
for real.
delicious, dude. I fucking look forward to it. Yeah, the last couple of years I've had salmon, but I'm not a fan of turkey, not a fan of ham. Really, I like chicken and salmon. That's pretty much all I eat, actually.
Okay. Yeah. I like a good glazed ham, like
a deliciously glazed ham with some like pineapple glaze on it.
Oh, dude, yeah,
maple syrup, maybe.
Yeah,
maple syrup. Damn.
Yeah, it's like just mix it up because like I put like brown sugar and shit on it. Also, it's just like like it's just really sweet and like really like what's the word, like savory? Yeah, savory.
Succulent.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
That shit. What about you? What's your family?
Oh man, it's kind of a lot of. I mean, just your average stuff. There's my favorite
turkey
thing.
dress and all that stuff.
Yeah, my favorite thing is some like sweet potatoes. Like something sweet potato, anything sweet potato with like brown sugar, some yams, marshmallows.
You never had a
yam?
yam?
Never had a yam in my life. No.
Really? Not even. You never had sweet potato pie?
Wait, what?
You ever had sweet potato pie? That's what a yam is, a sweet potato.
Oh, no, I haven't. I've had sweet potatoes, but never had sweet potato pie.
I don't know what the difference between a yam and a sweet potato.
There isn't one. They're the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just a different name for it.
Oh,
shit.
Yeah. Well, I guess you have then.
Yeah, I guess I have had a yam. All right, cool.
Yeah, it's just a different name for it. Also, like, cranberry sauce and stuff like that. Like, I sat there and, like, I don't put it on, like, a lot of things. I used to eat just because that comes in that little like gelatin cube.
Yeah, I don't like when they give you just a gelatin cube. I'm like,
as a kid, I was doing weird shit. I was eating that. I would literally just grab this. Like, damn, this is good. It's like,
I'll pass on
just the sauce. Nice. But no, what I skip is stuffing.
Yeah,
I'm not a stuffing guy. I can't do it.
I like just a little bit, but I used to hate it. Like it would like make me gag. I'd be like, try to eat it.
Bread,
like,
bro.
It's like so salty.
Yeah, and then you like they put it in the turkey to like infuse some of the turkey flavor.
Stuff it right up its ass.
But that's messed up.
Yeah, you're eating butthole bread all Thanksgiving.
Yeah, not into it.
Yeah. Either.
I love pie. Pie's my one thing I look forward to every Thanksgiving. Favorite pie? Probably cherry.
Okay.
I'd say cherry, then chocolate. I like chocolate pie. It just tastes like pudding. It's fucking delicious.
Yeah, it's basically just pudding. Yeah. What about you?
Like any season?
Any season. Just pie in general. What is your favorite pie?
Like a lemon meringue.
Oh,
like a whipped, like fluffy.
I like me a nice peach pie.
Okay.
Yeah, nice peach pie.
Little peach.
Yeah, delicious.
Man, I'm getting hungry now. Dang.
Yeah, right. Talking about fucking food for 10 minutes. Dude.
Next time we got to shift into another topic. So comedians. So like, well, who inspires you as like in the comedian world, or who do you like learn from?
Well, I was first inspired. Yeah, I was first inspired by Bo Burnham. Yeah, that's what got me into like making funny songs when I was in high school. But like for comedians right now, I'd say Mark Normand.
Mark
Normand and Anthony Jeselnik.
Oh, dude, Jeselnik is actually hilarious.
I love.
I love. Had his show still.
Yeah, and the Jeselnik offensive.
Yeah, that shit was funny. Man.
Yeah, I ran for like 2 seasons, and I think it was too offensive.
Well, that's the thing. Like Comedy Central, they have a habit of giving comedian shows that like seem really good on paper, but then like just will not last very long. I think what was it? It was Nick Swartzen's Pretend Time. There was that one.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was a good one for a little bit, but only got like a season. What was that other one? It was.
I don't think Nick Swartzen was like able to carry a show by himself.
I did not think so. Yeah. But the sketches were funny. Like he did not have a lot of original characters. That like it had Gay Robot. That was funny.
Sounds funny.
But who was that other one? The guy who drew a lot, like the guy who
Dimitri Martin.
Yeah, Dimitri Martin was awesome.
That was a funny show.
That was
his
very
show
clever.
was hilarious.
Yeah,
and he also sang and stuff. Like when you do
it
more
was like a variety show.
Yeah, when you do more than just comedy, like that's also what I like. I like when you're actually entertaining. Like I love that shit. That's why I think he and Peele were successful also. Like even after they did their sketches, they still did the stand up routines like right in between, like you know what I mean? Which is why same with Chappelle's show. But like who would you pick right now that could get a show on Comedy Central that you think would actually do a good one? Like if you could pick a comedian to give a show to right now on Comedy Central, like who would it be? And like who do you think could actually do it?
A comedian that would be good on Comedy Central with the show. I mean, I would like to see Mark Normand.
Yeah.
Try to do a show. He's pretty funny, but he's tried acting, I guess, and people never hire him to be an actor. So I don't know.
I do Nick
he has like a specific voice.
I do Nick Caliendo again. I'd watch another Caliendo show. Like he does so many good impressions that it's just like I'm pretty sure we could watch that again.
Wait, am I saying it right? Mark Normand.
Yeah,
right?
Mark Normand. Yeah.
He reminds me of a mix between Norm Macdonald and Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like he's got like the vibe of Norm Macdonald, and but he's quick.
Yeah,
he's like quick. Jokes are like boom, like rapid fire.
Yeah, that's what I like. I'm more big a fan of like one-liner comics than I am like story-based comics. I just love the art of the joke. You know, when I hear like just a well-written joke, I fucking like
one
that's
that
what gets me.
grabs you immediately.
Yeah. That's like quick fire. Like Jimmy Carr's another one that just like joke.
Yeah.
But
John Mulaney, he's done a couple of shows. Like he can. Well, he started because he did a lot of like SNL, and
he also he still writes for all those shows today. It's like still,
I mean, he did a whole special about his like rehab and stuff.
Dude, that was amazing.
That was
Baby J was
awesome.
awesome. Baby J was amazing.
I'd say it's my favorite one he's made, I think.
Same. Out of all the ones I've seen, like that's probably the most iconic. And and the way he carries himself is just like, holy crap, man, you did not expect that.
Right.
And that's what I love about this job, bro. It's just like there's literally we come from all walks of the planet.
Yep.
And like you can make a joke out of pretty much anything. Like there's comedians that I'd be seeing on Kill Tony sometimes that are just like hilarious. Like super hilarious. You know what I mean?
I got there was a guy, I can't remember his name for the life of me, but somebody, I like posted a bunch of clips from that night, the first night doing stand up, and someone said I look like a more handsome version of this one guy that's on Kill Tony all the time, and I cannot remember his name.
I'm
blanking. He's got like
ginger.
He's got like
guy.
Crazy hair, like even though he's balding.
I just watched Kill Tony like last night, and I can't. My fucking memory is so shit.
I would love to be on Kill Tony.
Oh, me too.
Oh man, that'd be fucking sick.
But I'm blanking on his name, but I didn't know who it was, and I looked him up. I'm like, holy shit, we do look like we could be brothers or something.
Yeah, you do look kind of alike. Yeah.
That's another thing about comedy, man. It's like getting into this bit, you find like there's 1,000 people who look either just like you or like, you know, saying similar shit. It's just like, God damn it. It's like, this is really one of those. I honestly, I wouldn't say it's harder than being a comedian, but this is one of the things where it's just like, did I pick the right version of the job to get?
Right.
It's like, God damn, there's so many of these.
Yeah.
But they're like, a lot of them are fucking hilarious. Like a lot of them, that's why I love going to local shows and like seeing like, you know, people that like either went to high school with or just like people you didn't even know like from your town who actually got the sauce like that. Like that to me is like also like just super endearing because it's like, that's great. Like somebody finally got the balls like I did to do it because it takes like a lot.
Yeah. Like I got a buddy of mine. I always call him out. I think I called him out the last time I was there, but Ethan Amarine. He's been wanting to be a comedian for so long. You just got to do it, dude. just do it.
Like, is he a funny guy?
He is hilarious. Okay, like he's like one of my funniest. Like that's fine. He's one of my funniest friends. I've known him forever, and like he's just naturally funny. Like he's got like a Bill Burr kind of sense of humor. Like a little like pessimistic about everything, and like you never know if he's really kidding or not. But I like it's amazing. Yeah. Like, and he's got jokes. Like I pressured him during COVID to like. He had so many like random thoughts that he'll like he'll just send to people on Snapchat. And I was like, dude, just take this video and just plop it onto a TikTok account and see what happens. And they were starting to blow up, and then I think he just got a little.
Oh, so he was actually doing that. He was like posting on TikTok.
Like I don't know, but yeah, you need to do it.
Would you ever take that route, the TikTok route? Would you ever like try and hop on and like do some videos like on there?
Yeah, I would for sure. I've thrown a few on there, but then I kind of got lazy and stopped. I need to get back. I get back to it. It's a lot of work.
It's probably I don't know if it's because I'm old or it's just because I don't like the shit, but it's just like damn, like I really because I also had one, but like the only videos I managed to put up were just like, you know what I'm saying, very little and like very few and far between. And it's kind of just like, you know what, I don't know how that algorithm stuff works either.
Yeah, but
it is like for me, it's a little bit discouraging because it's just like then you start like. The addiction that I get from laughs, I don't want to transfer into an addiction for likes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'd rather not have that. Like I'm already on my phone enough as it is. But if I'm constantly checking who the fuck's like looking at me and how many fucking things I've gotten, like which at this point in my life is very arbitrary, I prefer to keep it that way. I would really prefer to keep it that way.
Yeah, no, I do the same thing. If I try to be funny, make a post, I'll be like checking my phone every 5 minutes.
Like every 5 minutes.
Do you guys like me?
Somebody had
people
to
like me.
Does anybody
Please? Yeah, come on.
It's like damn it. So that to me is worse than bombing because it's just like, no, well, I put it out there. Fuck me then.
All it is I have a Twitter and I'll try to tweet a joke and it'll get like literally no likes and it does feel worse than bombing.
It does, man. I don't know why. See it. I don't know why, but I tell you what,
Twitter's crazy because it's also like you have to pay to be a part of, like, to actually get anywhere on Twitter now. Like, and I'm like, it's not even like that fun of an app to use anymore.
Right, I'm not paying $10 a month.
Can we just go back to MySpace, bro? Like,
all right, the good old
MySpace
days.
was like, that was such a great, like, you knew where you stood with your friends.
Like, number 5, I'll take it.
Yeah, you're like, all right, you know, I'm at least up there, you know.
I'm on the list. People get into fights on the bus about that shit. That shit was
dude, it was so weird how it like we just all like we're like, all right, this is like a social thing now. We're just gonna rate our friends.
It's that order. I think it's the dopamine rush that you get from like like social affirmation. I guess is what I guess they would call it, because it's like it's a social app where you get a chance to be exposed to not only just people in your area, but people who I guess you would want to know, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Based upon shit that you like. So whenever they like loop you in with like arbitrary shit like that, it's just like, oh, if we give you the ability to like, you know, rate how much you actually give a fuck about someone or like super like someone. Remember they did that poking shit also? Yeah. At this point now it's just money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? At this point now how you can pay this person. So it's just like, I don't know what the next thing is going to be, but whatever the next trend is, I wonder if like I should like try and look into it to hop on it now in order, because relevancy is the main thing that we're gonna have to worry about as just comedians and as entertainers in the future, regardless. Right. Because again, everybody's doing this shit.
Yep.
So I don't want to like write something that's not gonna hit for the next 3 fucking years. But if I do end up having to do that, I wonder if like social media is the route to go like for that. Like how do you feel? You know what I'm saying?
I think social media is like inevitable. You know, you kind of got to use it because it's the most reach you can get with an audience. Yeah. I will say back to the MySpace thing though. I used to love when you get in a fight with your friends and then you're like, all right, number 9, you fucking son of a bitch.
Literally.
It felt so good. Like,
and they knew.
Yeah, like almost you had the power over your friends.
Demoted.
I was like, you just got fucking demoted, bro.
Yeah, right.
But now we just don't talk to each other. Like,
no.
Now you just don't fucking talk.
Now it's like now you can hide. You can just hide all posts from one person. Like you don't even have to unfollow them. You can just. Yep. I don't want to see your shit anymore.
Well, see, that's another thing. That's because like that's what I love and hate about the internet, because like the anonymity of the internet has now given the people the ability to say shit that's just like so out of pocket.
Oh yeah,
there is just like I'm glad that I, as a person who just will say that shit in your face, is preferred as an individual, because it's like that shit for some reason also hurts way worse than if you're like trying to talk to, because you can't physically like do or like, you know, say something to this person that's just like coming at you and saying like the worst stuff. I was watching this dude earlier. He was on TikTok, and I was watching the YouTube video. I think you guys may have seen it floating around. He's like a recovering like drug addict or something. Has a bunch of tattoos on his face, and people were like writing real nasty shit on his fucking post. So he got a tattoo of the worst commenter. The worst commenter says, "I hope that you get cancer again or you kill yourself." And he got a picture of that dad's deceased father on his freaking leg.
Oh my god!
Tattooed it on his leg, and goes like, "Yeah, you might want me to kill myself, but that's not going to bring your dad back." And I'm just like, dude,
damn.
You see what the fuck I'm saying? Like, it's like if somebody was coming at me like that, who's to say I wouldn't do something just as ridiculous?
This is crazy.
But that's the internet, man.
Yeah, because if someone did that in person, you're probably not going to get a tattoo on your leg.
I'm not saying it's my job as a comedian to talk shit, but if I do happen to do so, like, apparently I'm going to get slapped for it now. But like when it's on the internet, it just hits that much worse. The sting is that much worse. So it's just like, even if you get your account taken down, he still did that shit.
Yeah,
and you'll never know why. You'll never know why.
He's talking
like, why
about,
do you hate me?
He's like, oh, I'm gonna sue you for doing that. It's like, yeah, you can sue me, but he's still there. Like,
right. Yep.
You know what I mean? So when it comes to how would you handle internet beef if it came down to somebody coming at you like that? Like, because I'm pretty sure he was getting death threats also for random reasons. But it's just like,
okay, gotcha. How would I handle internet beef? Interesting.
Somebody's coming at you that hard. Like,
I'll just try to make jokes back at him. Like, I wouldn't get a tattoo or anything. I want to go that extreme. But like, I've had internet beef before, and I just try to fight him with jokes. And then, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I try not to think about it too much when, you know, someone makes a nasty comment on one of your statuses. It doesn't. I mean, it's only happened like twice probably in my life. So it's like I'm not famous enough for it to be a problem. Yeah. So I'll let you know when I become famous, and then everyone's trying to give me death threats.
Yeah. We always talk about on this podcast, like, what's the threshold of fame that you want in life? And because like there's a level where you're like too famous, where you're like, this sucks.
Yeah.
And like
can't go anywhere.
You can't go anywhere. Or like if you do, you're just like, people just talk to you. Like you can't get anything done. Yeah. And then like you get the death threats, you get people that just like genuinely hate you, and like, and then but there's a level of fame where you're like, it's the sweet spot.
Yeah, got like a niche following, and they all love you, but you're not ambiguous. And what's the word? Ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous enough.
That thing.
Yeah, ubiquitous.
Yeah,
that's like the
ubiquitous enough to.
That's like the genius of like someone like Marshmello, where like no one knows his face. Like people, they debate on like who he actually is, but like that dude could walk anywhere and nobody knows it's him.
See, like I'd say like iCarly maybe, because like if you think about it, like iCarly level of fame, not to the point. So say you're like,
you mean like in the show universe, or do you mean like
no, like in real life? How she like she was on the show, then went to college, did not do the show for like the next like 10 fucking years, and then just like based off of the fact that what she did whenever she was a kid, it's just like, you know what, I can do that shit again. Yeah. No controversy, no drama, no paparazzi, no people getting in her shit. Yeah. Successfully finished school, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's fucking gossiping about her, but she's still just as famous as somebody as like, Drake Bell or fucking Josh. Yeah. But did it in such a way that she was able to live a pretty decent life all the way up to just like, hey, I'm fucking 30 something now. Let's redo the show. Yeah, you know what I mean. Or like
Drake couldn't.
Or same thing with Ned Declassified.
Escape controversy.
Like the kids from Ned Declassified. Like I'd be on like what I'm saying. Like they're just living now.
They're doing a podcast.
They got their own podcast. Yeah, they got a sick podcast. Pretty great.
Gotcha. Really good. That's pretty cool.
Giving tips on how to be an adult.
Yeah, it's Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, but for like us people our age now. It's pretty dope.
They talk about how like crazy like the show actually was, and
how they didn't get any work as actors after the show.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy because that show is big.
Great,
it's
right?
That
for kids. Awesome. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But they also get into the stuff that they got into, like what fame does to you as like a young actor and shit like that. So I feel like there is a sweet spot, but let's say I want to get like. Maybe not to where Demi Lovato got, you know what I'm saying, but like just right below, like maybe Amanda Bynes level. Have a pretty good show. Don't do anything crazy. She did something crazy, but like don't do anything crazy, and then just kind of just taper off. I don't want to become a director. Actually, Jordan Peele, best version of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Do your good show, do your good comedy. Now you're a director. Now you have
make some awesome movies.
Retire fucking peacefully with all these credits and like shit's under your belt. That's what I think would be the sweet spot, like right there, because not a lot of people's in your business. Right. Even though you gave up your right to privacy years ago, being a fucking celebrity. Yeah. It's still to the point where like it's no Jada Smith and fucking Will Smith type shit. No one's gossiping about you for absolutely no reason.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's hard to do as a comedian. It's really hard to fucking do as a comedian. Because look at Pete Davidson. Like look at Pete Davidson, bro. Like it's weird because like he's famous for everything but his comedy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
I tried to watch. I watched one of his specials, but I was like not super into it. It was all right. But
it's just like, what about this guy is just so fucking fascinating that everybody's just in his shit.
He's doing Taco Bell commercials now. Yeah,
which is fucking awesome, everywhere. Which is awesome, right? It's just like all right, but like I personally, maybe it's just call it hating if you want, but it's just like, I personally can't see what it is about him that like would because you can say that John Mulaney's actually funny. I personally can't say that Pete David, to me, I guess, maybe I just don't like toilet humor anymore, but like, it's funny.
No, I'd probably agree with that.
There's like bits of Pete Davidson that I'm like, it's fun, but
dates ridiculously hot women, which is all right, cool, but it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, I need to know what the zeitgeist is, maybe. Am I even using that word right, maybe?
No, I think that's right. Yeah, like a mass cultural thing or whatever. But,
right. If you could say your niche, what would be your niche target? You know what I'm saying? For like, what do you think your target audience as a comedian currently right now? What do you think yours is?
My target audience would be like the people, because I'm more of a one-liner comic myself. So I just want to target people who just appreciate like well-written jokes. People who aren't there for a good story, because I'm not very good at telling stories. That's right. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get better, but I'm more of just like I like making a good joke, like punchline or set up punchline, and then so it's more like a Mark Normand audience I'm looking for, Bo Burnham audience. Like I just like doing clever shit.
All right, but what is your writing process like?
Well, I used to just write the entire, like I get an idea for a joke. Sometimes actually I'll just pull up my phone, like hit random word generator, and then try to think of a joke that uses that word. So I did that for a while, but now just, like when I'm interacting with people and I see something funny, I'm like, I could probably turn that into a joke. And then I'll record it on my phone, like over and over again, trying to get it like the wording right. Because I used to write it all out and then memorize it and then say it on stage. But I think it's better to record it like live when you think of it. Because I found that when I write it and then later I try to say it, it sounds off. Like it doesn't sound right.
It's kind of like trying to read lyrics of a song you haven't heard in a while.
Yeah.
You're like, how did this go again?
Mine's a little weird because it's just like I do write it down. Like I do have stuff like written. Yeah. But like I think it's probably just because of like how I retain it like in my memory. Like I will write down the subject of said joke, right? I'll write down the subject and perhaps even the punchline. and then like I'll form the rest of it around that. So it's just like when I look at the list of jokes, it's like, okay, there's the premise right there, perhaps the punchline. And if it doesn't have a punchline, I'll remember what the premise was and then formulate the joke anyway. So like I'll be sitting here for him with him example, and we're going over stuff, and I'll tell him like, here's the jokes on your end that I think would be funny, and here's what I might do tonight. And chances are, when I get there, I might just freestyle it anyway. So like, so a lot of people, like, especially people who are like at my stage of comedy, they a lot of the time they'll have their notes out on their phone or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, for some reason when I get up there, it's just a different feeling. So like I remember what I want to say, but I don't know what order I'm gonna fucking say it in. So then I just kind of freestyle it from there. Like I'll start with a premise, an idea, and then remember shit that I talked about throughout the day and just work it in there. You know what I mean? So it's a lot easier for me to do that, even if I have I'll have the whole set written.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll probably throw the whole shit away before I start.
Do you have it written like word for word in the joke?
Nope, never. Never.
Gotcha.
Literally just like subject, predicate, whatever the fuck, and then like it's right there, and then I remember what the fuck I'm supposed to be saying. So like I'll write the whole joke out, erase the half of it that I think is stupid, and then like there's the premise, followed by punchline, and then when I look at the notes before I either go up on stage or just before I leave my house or something, it's like, okay, here's an idea of what I'm fitting to say tonight. I don't know what order I'm going to say it in, but I'm going to find a way to tie it all together at some point. And every version of that will be different, no matter if it's the same jokes or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way to go about it, too, because it makes you more fluid on stage. Exactly. Like, you're ready to change directions.
I just picked the one that had the best crowd reaction, for real. You know what I'm saying? The best type 5, because like, it's a different type 5 every night with the same set of jokes, but it's just a different way to formulate them. You know what I'm saying? So that way it works a little bit easier with some improv stuff that I learned from actually like just watching Whose Line Is It Anyway and shit like that. Like
classic,
because I don't think I could ever successfully do
what
improv.
A great show.
Right?
That's a good show, dude.
It was so good.
It was fucking funny. It's hilarious. But like, I don't think I could ever successfully do an improv show, but I did work at a haunted house for like several years. So like, trying to do shit on the fly. Just outside of just screaming and shit, because if I couldn't get people to get scared of me because the makeup was fucking awful, I would make them laugh. So like coming up with like one-liners and just like how to like formulate stories and shit like on the fly was something I picked up like whenever I was doing a bit of acting. So now I just, when I get on stage, that's why I do dumb shit like wear glasses on stage. You know what I'm saying? I can't see shit. So it's like if I'm performing into a crowd of nothing and it's just me riffing with shit that I've been saying the whole time. Right. It's a lot easier. You know what I mean? Because it's like telling a story, and not even the same story, but telling a set of stories that just fit what I need to do for that evening. You know what I'm saying? And I think flowing that way is a whole lot easier. And if I did look at my phone, because I hate the pausing in between the jokes. Yeah. Like if you notice when I'm on stage, it's fluid. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just talking the whole time. And I prefer to keep doing it that way, so that way I don't have time to slip up or like step on my own punch.
It like breaks the fourth wall a little bit.
Yeah. But sometimes you got to, because remember the room was really lopsided the night that we did it beforehand. And there was like maybe 4 or 5 comics who made reference to it and fucking funny. Killed because of it. So it's like when you look at me, I'm obviously facing like this direction to talk to where the rest of the crowd is, but like I want to try and get better at addressing the entire room, because you can see that, you know what I'm saying? You can see that type of shit when you're on stage and you're recording. Mm-hmm. It's just like, oh, why is he looking just that way?
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's what the fucking crowd is.
That's where everybody was.
And I break the fourth wall all the time, because I'll comment on my jokes a lot of times after I tell the joke. Yeah. And I'll be like,
which is, I think it's funny. Like, I think that shit's funny.
Yeah. I like to comment on it's fun. It's like a little extra joke you throw in just about your joke. I don't know. I get kind of meta with it, you know?
Which is funny. And I think you do it in a very, very funny way. I think a lot of the people that we work with at the Funny Stop, like the semi-pros that do come through there, like it's very awesome just to get to see a different style and a different version of all these like people who I get to know personally. And it's like, I really feel like if you just given the right stage and just the right, like, you know what I'm saying, the amount of time put behind them, like these people can be big. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing shit that, like, you know, I guarantee you I would love to listen to on an HBO special for an hour.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of talented comics in that area.
Especially. And then it's hard coming out of Ohio. It really is, because there's like next to no shit to do here with comedy wise. Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah. Cleveland's got like a big-ish scene. You can do some stuff over there. They got hilarities, but
Columbus possibly. But it's just like you might as well move to Atlanta if you actually want to like do some like, you know, some consistent shit every night in front of like a decent crowd.
Oh yeah.
And like even though I don't think I'm Comedy Store level or nothing like that, I do know that there are people out there if you really want to like do this, like just doing like just stand up anytime you get an opportunity, just doing stand up in general will help you get better. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like don't even be upset if you have to look at your notes for like a good while in the first half of it, because everybody's different, but I feel like there's a lot of potential, like especially out here in this area, and I'm really looking forward to seeing like a whole lot more of it like the rest of this year.
Oh yeah.
So, I love doing this shit.
Yeah, comedy is cool. It's a weird thing to get into, because it's the only like profession where the only way to practice is to do it in front of people. Like you can't. If you play guitar, you can practice your guitar until you're really good at guitar, and then go and sound good. With comedy, you're just going to sound like shit the first time you try it. Like it's probably not going to go well.
Yeah, it's not going to go well every time either.
Yeah,
it's just like
exactly.
it's hard not being discouraged. It's hard especially when it comes to anything entertainment wise. I would say for real. Yeah. It's like it's hard.
Yeah, whenever you're dealing with a crowd, like that crowd can turn on you. That's like my biggest like worry when I do weddings and stuff. I'm like, this crowd could like they could be vibing, but if I mess up something and like really bad, like if I say the wrong name or something weird, like I got 200 people looking at me sideways. And I'm like,
the problem is you've already been paid, so it's
that's true.
Just leave if you want.
That is a nice thing about it.
I'm trying to get to that level. Just like, so even if I fuck up, it doesn't matter.
I would feel less bad if I already got paid.
I feel maybe a little less upset.
Right. You got something out of it at least.
Right.
But you do get good at like playing off things, like if you mess up like a transition or something stupid that's like easily
learning
nobody
how to
remembers.
recover from a bomb is also an art.
You gotta learn how to like bring like I saw this one comedian on it was like a YouTube short or something, and he was just like it was his birthday and he had never tried stand up, and like now he's actually doing pretty good.
Oh, really nice.
But he had all of his friends come out for his first time, and it was his birthday. He was drinking, and he went up there and like he was trying to tell his first joke, and he was just tripping over his words, and he the realization that he was bombing, he just was like working that out with the crowd, and he's like I am literally bombing right here. This is like my worst nightmare. And he's like, I brought my friends here. They're gonna go home and tell their girlfriends. He's like,
but that's actually a great recovery.
He turned it around, and then at the end,
like everybody in the comments was like, dude, this guy actually like made me laugh from bombing.
Right.
And I was like, there's a way to do it. Like, you know,
there is. Yeah. There's always opportunities to get laughs.
Fail with style. I guess. There's a way to do it. Yeah. But what's up like one bit, like, so say there's someone listening that's like, man, I've always wanted to try it, but like I've been nervous to do it. Like, I guess the funny stuff, since you do there, what's the cool thing about the funny stuff that you like for like people that are first getting into it?
Oh, the funny stuff I think is the best place to start if you're trying to do. They're very, very amateur friendly.
I can agree with that.
And the crowd is very supportive generally. Like if you're new, usually I've had friends go up and do their like first ever like set, and it goes really well just because the crowd, like they tell them it's their first set, and the crowd just wants to laugh at them.
Very receptive.
I've seen people do their first set. It goes super well, and then bomb the next couple of times because it wasn't the first time anymore, and then the crowd wasn't as sympathetic. But it's a really good place to start. I think it's the best place.
Also, great food. The owners are very nice. Very nice. They're also very like very easy to work with. I would say like very, very easy to work with. You know what I mean? They also
very friendly.
Yeah, they give you a good jumping off point. Like I would say, especially if you're trying to do it for like the first, and you get to see a lot of really, really cool people. You get to meet a lot of really awesome individuals, and like a lot of the comics there who are also like a little bit more seasoned. They're also very, very supportive as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's where I started. Was at the Funny Stop.
That was my second ever show. Was at the Funny Stop, and like I haven't stopped going since.
Yeah,
probably.
I've been going to the Funny Stop for like years.
2021, 2022 is when I started going, I think.
Because like they do that thing where they call you randomly, like if your number's in like their log book or whatever, like they'll just randomly call you and be like, "Hey, there's a comedian tonight. You want to?" Free ticket.
Some
like,
famous people have come through there also.
Like occasionally, I'm like,
some pretty big names that will come through there every once in a while. So like randomly, like just shameless plug here, but come out to the Funny Stop if you ever want to see like a possible celebrity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
TJ Miller was just there. Like a month ago.
Oh yeah,
he was hilarious.
Yeah, freaking Weasel from
Deadpool. Yeah, Deadpool. Yeah,
Deadpool. He was on the one Silicon Valley show.
Yeah.
He's a pretty famous guy. He knew Pete really well,
and super hilarious.
Yeah, he was good friends with Pete, the owner of the Funny Stop.
Oh, nice.
But so we've been here for a little while. I guess I could ask you maybe like one or two more questions. First question: if you could name an old celebrity comedian that you would like to kick it with, you know what I'm saying, alive or dead, but just like an old school celebrity, who would you kick it with? Me personally, I think I would love to have a drink with Andrew Dice Clay.
Classic. Old school celebrity, huh?
Yeah.
Probably do George Carlin.
Probably do George Carlin?
Yeah, I think I do George. Is that old enough? Is that old school enough?
Yeah, I think so. I think that'd be an interesting combo.
It makes the makes the cut.
What about you?
I feel like that'd
be
fun.
Like, are we talking a comedian or just any celebrity?
Comedian.
Mitch Hedberg, probably.
Oh,
he was
I
dope.
should have chose Mitch Hedberg. That's a better answer.
I remember like growing up, I was like, I discovered Mitch Hedberg, and I was like, this guy, like, and I was so like sad when you find out that like the way he passed and everything, and you're like, he was just so hilarious. Like,
I was thinking Chris Farley as a second one.
Yeah, Chris. Chris Farley.
He'd be a fun guy just to hang out with.
Cool. Yeah. That'd be so fun.
Yeah. So fun. You would not have like a boring evening.
Not at all. Bro. I don't even care what we did. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't give a shit. I'd like, bro, let's go.
Yeah.
But so I guess final question: do you have any upcoming shows or anything that they could actually like show the people in the crowd out there what they can look for when they go to see a Glenn Menteer show? Like anything on the internet or anything coming up that you want to let them know about?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram. You can see the shows I got coming up. I'll be doing the Outpost this Saturday. I'll be opening for a couple bands. Actually, I'll be hosting the show.
Oh yeah.
And then next Saturday after that, I'll be in Youngstown at some place. I don't know the name, but check my social media and you'll see the name of it.
And don't forget to come out to the Funny Stop November 15th if you want to see me and Homeboy perform at the semifinal round.
Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, I'll be there. That's next week, right?
Yeah, I do believe so. It's next week.
Next Wednesday. Dang, I'm like nervous now.
You got this, man.
Yeah,
we believe in you.
I was like, I gotta come up with what's the? Do you know? I don't know. Maybe do you know how long we got? Like per set?
You get 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, sweet.
So I got that type. Come up with a new type.
I might just try to do tried and true what I got.
All right, I mean, it worked.
Tighten it up.
Hey, it did work.
Maybe add one other joke.
You know what I'm saying? I'd like to cite if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, there you go.
So like the first because I didn't like when I went up like when you announced me I was like I almost was like this is my first time but I was like I'm just gonna go up and like not say that and see what the response would be if they thought I'd do this every week.
That's a good way to get an accurate gauge of your jokes.
And it was sick. I was so proud.
I was like
you did really
pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
I was like, did not expect it to go that well at all. But it was fun. It was a good time. And then, and I think it was because like each joke kind of like led into the next. I think
you had a good transition.
That's how I do it. That's how you do it, bro.
I mean, like when you say the word jizzle, I mean, like that's just funny in and of itself.
It's like, now that one you can let rest for like a minute.
Yeah.
But I would like to thank you guys for joining us once again on the All Circles Media Podcast. I'd like to thank our guest once again, Glenn Menteer.
Thanks for having me, man. I
Please
appreciate it.
follow him on social media. Thank you for coming once again.
No problem at
all. And that'll be Ty, the Icon, and Adam Robb signing off.
Yes, sir.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification if you want to get notified every time we drop one of these episodes. Thank you and good night.
See you.